Hi, everybody. This is going to be a great week. We have a lot of really positive energies to work with. Welcome to the Weekly Woo, everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know when these videos are coming out. If you're watching on IG, please give us a heart and head over to the subscription area. We have a system now where I am doing 3 posts a week: Monday motivation, Wednesday wisdom, and a live Q&A. The subscribers are having a blast, getting a lot of extra juicy information. And of course, when I'm done with this video, I head over to Patreon for my patrons there, where we take a deep dive into these mystical, esoteric ideas. And of course, I give more practical ways on how to use the energies going on in the week and how to avoid the pitfalls. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys off the bat was a really simple visualization to help you ground. Because if you watched the last Weekly Woo, you know that this new moon that we had last week, yes, it's all systems go, right? From new moon to full moon, it's a time to start things, to plant your seeds, to get things going. And you're probably feeling that, motivated and ambitious and ready to get it moving, right? But we can be overstimulated. All of us. It's just the nature of how our world is expanding at this time. It's so important that we're able to balance that. Last week, I talked about simply being still, which is becoming a novelty at this point. But here's a visualization that can help you when you're just really, you're feeling fried and fritzed out by the technology, by the scrolling, by having to focus on screens. That's to simply close your eyes and imagine that the column in the middle of your body becomes a hollow tube that you can send down to the center of the planet. The center of the planet looks different for all of us when we're working in our mind's eye. But however it represents itself and shows itself to you, you want to connect with it and connect this tube to it. And then imagine that staticky energy that you're feeling, that weird fritzy burnout. Just send all of that energy down the tube into Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth handle it and take it. She's here, it's here to help us cleanse ourselves. It's our base note. So many of us have forgotten this and forgotten how to use it. Let it help you. This is why walking barefoot on the earth or leaning up against a tree, it's not just hippie woo-woo. It actually helps you discharge energy that's overloading your system. So use that this week. Try it out. See if it works for you, right? And if it doesn't, throw out the idea. But I'm pretty sure it'll work for most of you. So at the beginning of the week, a lot of great fiery energy. There's a little bit of pitfalls. Again, we're working with the planet of Uranus. Some of you are asking me to say it a different way. Uranus. And this is an energy of the surprise, the aha moment. I just want to remind you guys, any surprise that's coming in, new information, it's there for you to use. It's coming up for you, not against you. We are having to get better and better at pivoting and adapting. This is why this planetary energy is so active right now, because it's going to become the norm. It's like training us, pushing us to learn how to be malleable and stay grounded at the same time. You can hold both of these energies. It's also really showing us where you're not grounding, where you're not in your body. So allow this energy to teach you what you need to do to have more balance. Now, in the middle of the week, it's a great time to just get practical things done. That's because we're in Western astrology, we're going to be in a Virgo moon. Virgo moons are great times to do the laundry, clean out the cabinets, make your to-do list, start checking things off. It's where showers, manicures, pedicures, cleanliness is godliness, right? This is the idea. The only pitfall about the middle of the week when this moon is active is a tendency towards perfectionism, which leads to procrastination. Remember, as you're starting these new things, you're not going to be able to see 10 steps in front of you. In a lot of ways, that time when we could is over, maybe forever. We are really being pushed to have faith that once we take a step, the next step will appear. very much like a video game. Again, as I said, this ability to adapt and be malleable, to be light on your feet and yet grounded into the center of the earth. This is a task and it takes training. So as we move into the weekend, it's nice how it works out where we have Venus moving into Taurus and then we have a Libra moon over the weekend. So again, if you're a subscriber, you know that this is a Venusian weekend we've been in. So is the coming weekend, where balance, relationships, harmony, beauty, seeking beauty as antidote to stress, working with beautiful scents, good food, things that are aesthetically pleasing to you. This is going to be helping us all through June. Because June, and I'll be making a larger post on June, it's a tricky month. June and July are really going to challenge our ability to maintain our equilibrium and our balance, because there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of triggering events, but that's okay. Any sort of trigger is there to show us what we have not released and what we need to work on letting go. And we want to be traveling light in our hearts and our souls, right? Light as a feather is how we want our heart to be. June and July are really going to help us uncover where we're holding on to denser, darker energies within us that need to be released so that we can move forward with those, light feet ability to adapt, right? So when I'm on Patreon, I draw some cards. Usually we get into deeper topics, but this week I wanted to give you guys all, the main video, an animal to work with. I think it's important that we work with the energies of nature, and a lot of us can't get out in nature. So this is a way to do that, right? So we got crow and frog. Now, crow, this is fascinating. I'm not in LA right now, but when I am, I see so many crows. These creatures memorize human faces, and they remember if that human was kind or not kind. And then they transfer this knowledge to their young. This instantly makes me see the patterns that humans hold, the ancestral patterns that we've inherited that we need to let go of, and the patterns that we've inherited from our family, our mothers, our fathers, our siblings, and how it's really our job to individuate from tribe, from family, from ancestral lineage, to really seek the knowledge of self. Who are we really? And what of these patterns do we want to keep? And what do we want to transmute into something that is higher vibrational? You don't have to carry all of that. You are allowed to let some of it go if you want. And I think that this week we're going to be confronted with where we're unable to relax, unable to chill because of a patterning that actually never was ours. It's not intrinsic to our nature. It's something we inherited, adopted, took on from perhaps our parents or even further back. This is the kind of work I do with clients where we really get into it and look at, it's not about blame or judgment. It's about who do we want to become and what we can take with us and what we cannot. Now, frog, also I want to say about crows, it's very important when you're hearing crows to think about, like, what did I just say? What was that person just saying to me? What did I just hear? Crows are known to be creatures that are multidimensional. We think as humans, we're like the most evolved, and I don't know. I beg to differ on that, because There are creatures who are having sensory experiences that are beyond ours. So crows are kind of in and out of realms in a way. And when they are speaking, it's important to pay attention to what you're saying. Sometimes it can be a warning, like, stop what you're saying. So pay attention to that this week. Frog. This is frog people who have strong frog medicine are, the intuitives, the psychics, the mystics. If you think about a frog's life cycle, it starts in the water and it ends up in land. So this symbolism of the frog is this ability, again, to go between realms, like I was just talking about with the crow. When you're visualizing the cord going into the center of the earth, you're using your mind's eye. That's an other dimensionary experience. If you guys are like the people who are attracted to these videos and are interested in the things that I talk about, you guys are intuitive. That's why we click like attracts like. So this is a week where you're going to be invited to work with your ability to transcend present moment awareness. If you're listening to the practical tips I'm giving, then you're already working with the idea of silence and it not being like, meditation, and it actually being an exercise and discipline to balance your mind. When this idea of silence and stillness really became easy for me to tap into and to get into was when I started realizing that in that time and space, I can go into my mind's eye and communicate with the inner children inside of me, communicate with the different archetypes that make up the human psyche, my personal ones. So many of our great stories and movies and music comes from the time when people have gone within and worked in that space in their mind's eye. This week is definitely inviting us to do that. And the next level invitation that's coming in is to then write. Use this influx of energy that supports communication, writing, teaching, learning, reading. Write down what you experience in these moments of stillness. I still want to warn everybody with all this Uranus energy, do not send texts or emails or make phone calls when you are emotionally triggered. Take time to center yourself, ground yourself with a grounding technique. Get still, and then operate from that powerful embodied place. Generally, you can't go wrong when you're reacting from your center. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go over to Patreon now and go deeper into both crow and frog. And we are gonna talk more about this week and leading up to the full moon. We're gonna talk more about June. That's patreon.com/thegoodwoo. Thank you all so much for viewing, and I'm wishing you an awesome week. If you're interested in getting on the waiting list for private sessions, you can email info@thegoodwoo.org. Bye.